know. I still feel like this one's gonna actually be easy this time for me. Hey guys. So I really had a hard time trying to figure out which puzzle I was gonna work on next. Hence why I decided to put the poll out, asking which puzzle brand I should work on next. And thank you for making the decision for me. So yes, I am going to be working on a puzzle today from a brand that I have not worked on before. And you guys have been raving about this brand. So in today's video, we are going to be working on a puzzle from Eeboo. And this one is called Venice Open Market. It is 1,000 pieces and it is 23 by 23 inches when it's completed. So we got us a perfect square here. The box has a lot of great information about Eeboo. Their puzzles are 90% recycled board and are printed with vegetable-based inks. And also about the illustrator, who is Uta Krogman, and she is from southern Germany. Now, I looked on Eeboo's website recently just to learn a little bit more about them. And oh my goodness, their website was amazing. Really, the website itself is just as colorful as their puzzle boxes. There was so much information and so many products and puzzles, and not just puzzles. They have tons of other things. They have educational games, art supplies, books, stationery. Heck, they even sell party and holiday decorations. I'll leave a link to the Eeboo website down below in my description so you guys can check it out. What a great company. And really, you don't have to look through the website to get excited about this company because, I mean, come on, look at this box. First impressions when I saw this image whilst I was shopping through the Amazon Prime Day sale. And if you haven't seen that video, I'll leave the link down below so you can watch that and see the other ones that I picked up during that sale. But as I had said before about this puzzle, this image totally took me back to when I went to visit Italy for the first time when I was a child, and I went with my mom. Just look at this image. You have the gondola in the background. There's people hanging out. Now, obviously with the title, Venice Open Market, we have a farmer's market going on here. So you have people just shopping, just life happening on this street corner. You have these beautiful buildings in the background. There's just a lot going on. And I love when I see images of food on puzzles. It's something about it just gets me too excited. I really love the style of the artwork and the use of bright colors. This is a very fun picture to look at. I mean, like, seriously, I want to be in that market. I want to be shopping. I want to be the one grabbing those tomatoes there. That lady could be me and my daughter shopping in Venice. I love farmers markets. Oh, look, her shirt says Eeboo on it. That's cute. And I live in that building right above. And of course, that, you know what? That has to be my apartment. I have my coffee pot there. I gotta have my coffee, you know? And then maybe later I'll go take a gondola ride. Look at that bird. What a great face he has. I can't tell if he looks surprised or just happy to be there. I don't know, his stare is a bit like he's possessed. I like this bird. That looks like my kind of bird. This looks like too much fun. Like this is my kind of day. Now, here are my thoughts about this image in terms of completion process. I kind of want to say that it looks like it's going to be easy, but then I notice every time I say that in my videos, the puzzle ends up being a little harder than I expected. So, I don't know. I still feel like this one's going to actually be easy this time for me. And the reason why I say that is because, I don't know, I kind of feel like I'll be able to tell the puzzle pieces apart a little easier with this particular image, because in terms of the Thomas Kincaid Disney piece puzzles that I've been doing, most of the time the colors and the details within the puzzle piece can kind of, I can't really put this into words. The image on the puzzle piece can seem a bit confusing at times. Sometimes I think it's one thing when it's actually not even the case. It's totally something else. But I kind of feel like with this particular set, does it make sense to say that the details and the use of colors and kind of just everything in general, it just seems very exact. There's a lot of different things going on here. So I kind of feel like I'll be able to piece a lot of areas fairly easily. So I don't know, I kind of feel like I'm going to be able to get through this one fairly quickly. We'll see, right? You know what? I'm too excited. Let's just open this up and let's see what I really think about it. All right, guys, let's open this one up. All right, got my scissors here. Now, there's no plastic wrap on it because they do specifically state that they use very minimal plastic, but they have some sticky bits on the side. All right, let's open her up. Ooh. You know what? I'm going to be honest. I'm surprised that it's in a plastic bag. But anyways, I was kind of expecting like a buffalo thing, considering that they state that they use less plastic. But here is the image that they provide for you, kind of like their poster diagram. On the back, it has different sets that they carry, the 500, and these are 1,000 pieces. My God, there's so many beautiful sets. And then you have your main image here. It's not a shiny, glossy paper. It's very matte. It almost feels like a print you get from your home printer, but that's going to be very useful. I love the box, by the way. It's a very solid, nice box. All right, let's open up the bag. Oh, can't save that bag now. Wow, these are very nice, solid pieces. Even the tabs feel really strong. This is a solid, solid piece. I mean, of course, don't put all your beastly might into pushing the tabs, but any little kind of force, they're not going to bend very easily. These are really nice. One thing I do have to say though, from what I'm seeing here, is that these are very, very shiny pieces. But I have to say, it does suit the puzzle image because it's such a very bright, colorful image. I guess they really do want to do the colors justice. I really love the feel of these pieces. I'm very curious how these puzzles are going to snap into each other and how strong, how stable is this going to be when it's fully completed. We're going to do my puzzle storage test at some point with this puzzle, so stay tuned for that. The print on these puzzle pieces, you know, it's very bold. You really can't confuse where any of these pieces go. I kind of feel like this is going to be pretty darn easy as long as I do my sorting correctly, which I'll briefly go over with you guys throughout the video. And I also plan to as well, like, kind of go through how I went about going through sections and what areas were hard, which ones were easy. So, all right, guys, let's get started. All right, so I'm gonna do my best here because I am currently trying to get through a cold or possibly the flu, and my voice is shot. I'm coughing, so hopefully this turns out okay. But before we continue, make sure you hit that like button if you're a big fan of Eeboo. Now, in terms of sorting for this puzzle, I did actually find this a bit challenging because I noticed there was a lot of detail within each of the puzzle pieces, so it was kind of hard to decide which pile to add it in, really. First tray, I of course had the edges. Second tray, I put pieces for the sky, or which were blue. Third tray, I put plants and flowers. Fourth tray was the water and the boat. Fifth tray, I put pieces in with the stripe pattern since there was quite a few areas with stripes in them. The sixth tray had buildings. Seventh tray had food, such as like the fruit, the vegetables, the fish, anything that had to do with the farmer's market. And the eighth tray had pieces for the people. Now, most of you already know that I do this, but if you're new here, I always start my puzzle with the edges, and I do this to help me map out sections of the puzzle during completion. Kind of gives me like the framework of the puzzle. So to start with the edges, I take the tray and group common pieces together to basically make the assembly much quicker. And you could pretty much do this with any puzzle. Then from there, I work on piecing together the obvious details like people, the foods, and so on. And the thing that I noticed with the start of this puzzle was I got into this really quickly. Going back to what I said earlier, you could very easily see where the pieces belong. And honestly, I don't think I've experienced that with a puzzle before. Okay, so like always, we're gonna start with the negative so that we could finish on a positive note. So first of all, I did notice during my sorting that there were a couple of pieces that did have a bit of damage to the image, and it was just the image side was peeling on the tabs. And in terms of fit, for the most part, they snapped fairly easily. They were smooth, but I did notice in some areas where for some reason it didn't feel right in terms of the fit. It almost seemed like there was some gaps in areas, and I tried to take a picture of it, but I couldn't really quite get it in camera. But it was only in some areas of the puzzle. For the most part, everything snapped in very nicely. It was still a very sturdy puzzle.
And this could probably just have been an issue during the cutting process for this puzzle. But overall, those two things did not affect the whole puzzle experience. Now, I know this might sound ridiculous, but to me, this puzzle made me feel real puzzle smart. I would sit down and within minutes, I was popping multiple pieces in like no one's business. It felt so easy, and I don't think I've ever worked on a large puzzle in terms of the number of pieces that made me feel this good about my puzzling skills. It just made me feel good. It made me feel accomplished. It gave me like instant satisfaction. And maybe, like I had mentioned earlier, it's probably just the style of the artwork. I usually do Thomas Kincaid puzzle sets where the images on the puzzle piece would kind of have a blurry look to them, so it would be a bit confusing at times trying to figure out what you were actually seeing. This was exact. There was not too much thought that had to go into it. It was straightforward. It was legit fun. And if I had gotten stuck at any point, I would just simply resort my trays, and that's something that can help you whenever you get stuck. And I'd say I probably did this a couple of times to 2 or 3 different trays. And that's just basically regrouping similar pieces again within that pile from the tray. And then from there, I would start to piece together sections of the image, either on a separate tray or just on the side of the table or anywhere in the puzzle. And this can generally help speed up the process. And as I said, the 2 negatives that I mentioned earlier did not affect this overall experience in any way. This puzzle only took me about 4.5 hours to complete. And to me, that's not very long for me to complete a puzzle. It usually takes me over 6 hours to do 1,000 pieces. It was fantastic. Now let me know if I'm talking silly or crazy, but do you ever feel this way when you're completing an Eeboo puzzle? Please let me know your overall thoughts and personal experience completing these sets. Do they really make you feel that good about yourself like it did to me? Maybe I am strange, I don't know. Look at my little bird friend, isn't he cute? I love this puzzle. I am for sure gonna pick up more Eeboo puzzles because I absolutely loved this one. Have you picked up any Eeboo puzzle sets recently? If you don't have an Eeboo puzzle, you need to get one. The link is down below, so be sure to check out their website. And you could find these on Amazon as well for a little cheaper when they're having their sales. If you liked hearing about my experience trying a new brand for the first time, be sure to check out my other puzzle review where I tried Buffalo Games brand. That was a real awesome puzzle. And if you're new here, do consider subscribing if you'd like to keep up to date with all the new puzzles that I get and other fun puzzle related content. Well guys, this voiceover was very difficult to complete, but I shall be better next time. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.